All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. We are back, and I finally have a big smile on my face. We had a winning night for the first time in a few days here. Great night last night, and somehow, some way, it came by way of picking the Magic as 9-point dogs and the Thunder as 12-point dogs. But good night yesterday. I wish I jumped on, like I said in the video. I don't know if you guys took it. It wasn't one of my official final locked-in plays, but that over in the Spurs-Pacers game, that was one that I loved. I said I loved it and never pulled the trigger on. I wish I did, but nonetheless, we had a really good night. And I'm excited now to jump back into November 2nd. It's been a while since you guys have seen me win, so this is the smile you get when that happens. I'm pretty juiced up. We got 5 games on the slate today, November 2nd. We have the Bucks at Pistons. Now, this game is a little interesting. I would have thought, and I know there's injuries, we'll get into that in a second, but I would have thought that this spread would be way bigger than it is. It's a 5-point spread. Milwaukee's given Detroit 5. The total is 211. We do have some injuries on the Bucks side of things. Chris Middleton is downgraded to out. Giannis is probable. Brook Lopez is downgraded to out. Drew Holiday is out. But all that's telling me is that this Bucks team is confident in the fact that they can go and beat this Pistons team without these guys that were questionable and now early in the morning are downgraded to out. So if Giannis plays, I know he's still probable, but if Giannis plays, I'm going to jump all over that -5 there. I think that Giannis can almost single-handedly do that. Yes, they've had somewhat of a letdown season so far based on where we thought they would be, but they're coming off of 3 straight losses and 1 loss where they just got, I don't want to say embarrassed, but a game where they could have proved themselves against Utah. Utah dominated them. So I see the Bucks being able to go out there and just absolutely pump the Pistons if Giannis plays. I know that I've said on the channel before, like I really trust when Chris Middleton plays. I think that that's a huge X factor. But I think if Giannis is out there tonight, I'm definitely pulling the trigger, and I'm going to be watching that injury report because I think that line will go up at least 1.5 points, maybe a point, at the least I should say, if Giannis is ruled definite to play. So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on the pinned comment. That is where I let you guys know my final ticket. And we have some ads. None of our ads hit. We had the ad yesterday of the Blazers +2. They ended up getting beat by the Sixers. I should have trusted what I said in the video, but I second-guessed myself. So keep an eye on the pinned comment. And I'm running to place that bet if Giannis gets ruled in because I think that that's going to be a big one, big win for the Bucks here. All right, now we are moving on over to Miami. They're visiting Dallas. Dallas +2.5 here as the home team. To me, I don't know if I trust Dallas. I know that they burned us when we bet on Sacramento, right? But I don't know if I trust this team. I think Miami is genuinely a really, really good team, and they're 5-1 against the spread this year. You might say, hey, Dallas is 4-2, but they're 2-4 against the spread. And to me, I just like Miami here. I think that they're way better defensively. I think in the last 3 meetings or so, Dallas has won 2 out of the 3 meetings outright, but I just don't know if I can totally, see Dallas being able to keep up defensively or anything like that with the Miami Heat. With the caveat, and there are a lot of injuries to monitor today, which sucks. Bam Adebayo is questionable, and so is Porzingis. Maxi Kleber is downgraded to out. Apparently, he was questionable last time I looked. So definitely something to keep in mind, but as of right now, I'm strongly leaning towards Miami here. I think that this is a good spot for them. They've shown that they can beat good teams. I mean, they've beat Brooklyn, they've beat Charlotte, they've beat Memphis, and then Dallas, they've beat some good teams, but I wouldn't say that they're the same level as the teams that Miami's beat. Dallas has beaten Toronto, Houston, San Antonio, and Sacramento. So I do believe that this Miami Heat team is just much better than Dallas, but it's all dependent on Bam Adebayo. I really do think that I'm gonna monitor to that, and I don't think I'll be pulling the trigger if Bam's out just because he is such a crucial piece to that team. But who knows? Keep an eye on the pinned comment. Let's move on now to the Sacramento Kings taking on the Utah Jazz. Utah 9-point favorites here. That's a big number, and you guys know the Kings have made us some bank this year, but that's a big number, and I don't know if I want to lay that with Utah. I think we've laid it before, but that's when they were playing Houston and stuff like that. This is a tough one for me. I will say they are a very good home team, and it does not really worry me that it's a 9-point lay. But to me, it could be something that turns me off from the game. Like, I think that Utah will win this game. I think that they can beat the Kings by 9, but it's probably going to be something that I stay away from, if I'm being completely honest. I think the Kings might be looking to bounce back after their most recent loss to Dallas, where, that was right in their hands and they went and blew it. So to me, this is probably a fade of a game. I might look towards the over. Now, I know that you might be saying, well, Utah's a very good defensive team, but Sacramento's not. I think Utah can put up probably 115, and that means if Sacramento can just go out there and score 105, I think we could be looking at an over here. The total as of right now is 220. So I'm leaning Utah in the over, but I don't know if I'm going to get myself and convince myself to lay that 9 points on Utah there. No injuries to really report in this game. Next up, we have the Pelicans visiting Phoenix. Phoenix, 11.5-point favorites. 11.5-point favorites. That's a little alarming. I think that this game gets to stay closer than that, but can we trust the Pelicans and all of the question marks on their injury report? It literally looks like someone, I've said it before, but it looks like someone fell asleep on the question mark button on the keyboard. Temple's questionable. Ingram's questionable. Graham's questionable. It's not the best look for that. On the other side of things, we do have DeAndre Ayton questionable. Dario Saric is out indefinitely, obviously, and then Cameron Payne is downgraded to out. If some of these question marks turn into, we understand the final ruling on these injuries, I'd probably lean New Orleans getting the 10-point, getting the 10.5 points there, right? Or 11.5 points. I think that Phoenix may look like they're starting to turn a corner just in their play. They only lost Sacramento by 3. They did whoop up on Cleveland, but New Orleans, like, eventually this team's gonna have to play, and they're actually a 2-1 team against the spread when they are away. They're a positive against the spread team overall, whereas Phoenix is 1-4. I probably strongly lean Pelicans plus 11.5, but if there's no Brandon Ingram in this game, yeah, I'm not going to be cashing that. And especially with Devontae Graham, too. I know he's one of the lesser names, I guess, but if all of these guys that we mentioned are out, you won't be finding me touch this game, because even with 11.5 points to spare, injuries could just throw a huge wrench into this, to be completely honest. And the history between these two teams goes back and forth as well. They're 5-5 against the spread against each other. One thing we could look at, I guess, is that total, 215. But we'll see. Keep an eye on the pinned comment for this. This is going to be a tough one for me to end up pulling the trigger on, just because those question marks in the injury report. All right, next up we have the Rockets and the Lakers. So, this is 10.5 points. See, this is where it doesn't make sense to me. Phoenix is giving 11.5 to New Orleans. The Lakers are giving 10.5 to Houston. The Lakers are clearly rocky. They've been all over the place. Like, I totally get that. But I don't know. To me, I'm looking at this game saying there's something fishy going on there. The Lakers just, I believe, beat Houston by 9 or 10 points. Now they're at home, right? Why is this spread not bigger? That's just a little bit alarming to me, so I'm probably going to be staying away from it. And I know it's not what you guys are looking for when I say staying away from it. I would lean Lakers here because they're the better team, but who knows what can happen with this Lakers team. They're so inconsistent, and they constantly have guys on the injury report. Like tonight, Dwight Howard, LeBron James, Wayne Ellington, Anthony Davis, all in the injury report with, who knows if they're going to play. So I'm not going to force a pick just for content here on the channel. The total right now, if it interests you, is 217. I do see this probably being a 220-plus point ball game, so that is going to be a lean for me, the total. But in terms of touching that spread, I don't see it. But I think it's going to be a tough one to get me on either end of this. But that's what we got for spread side. I do want to get into some player props here. And this is kind of a crazy one, and I don't know if you guys are going to agree with it, but I'm looking at Donovan Mitchell under 27.5 points. I know you're picking the best scorer on that team to score under 27.5 points. He just played well against the Bucks. That's a high number to me. I am going to be taking the under on Donovan Mitchell under 27.5 points. That's just one that jumps out at me as, this could be a spot where they take the Kings to the woodshed. He doesn't play much. Not that I think it's going to end like that, but I'm willing to bet. Good thing we're doing a betting show. I'm willing to bet that Donovan Mitchell scores under that. And again, he could score 26 points, cash the under, and still have a very good game. So it's not like I'm really ragging on him. It's just a matter of seeing, I guess, what I guess is what I'm saying is what I envision him doing is probably 24 to 26 points and a win here. And I don't think he's going to need to go off for 30 points type of thing, or 28 to 30 points to beat this team. All right, and then two more here. We have Halliburton under 4.5 assists, and then Finney-Smith over 1.5 assists. Those are going to be 3 player props that I'm giving you guys tonight. And again, check the pinned comment. That is what where the final plays will come in. And if the line moves here, like last night, we called the under on Kemba Walker, but I didn't end up playing it because I couldn't get that number that I said. So just make sure to stay up to date on the pinned comment below. That is where you'll get my up-to-date picks, my final tickets. I don't like to play these. You know, we record these videos very early. I don't like to jump in and get in, on a line or anything like that too early, especially with all the injuries out there. So again, you know, our lean here and probably gonna end up playing if Giannis plays is Bucks -5. We're gonna go Heat -2.5. Lean to the Jazz here. Probably not gonna make the ticket. If Ingram plays, I'm all over the Pelicans tonight, and then we'll lean the over of the Rockets Lakers. And then player props, we have under 27.5 points for Donovan Mitchell. And then we have under 4.5 assists for Halliburton. And then Finney-Smith, we have over 1.5 assists. That's going to do it for today's video. Hopefully we can string 2 winning days in a row together. I'll catch you guys in the next one.